All right, we are back again. One more again. This is Secure Biometrics. This is Rhonda House and Brandon Edwards. We are Secure Biometrics. We are your fingerprinting professionals, your educators, all that good stuff. So today in this video, I want to talk about the startup costs and what it takes to get started in this business. We get a lot of requests on our website, securebiometrics.co. Again, that's securebiometrics.co. We have a lot of people that will fill out a request for a live scan system. They want the pricing for a live scan system. And on the form, we ask for what state you're going to be working in, because different states have different criteria, different requirements. And that way we'll know exactly which type of system setup you need. But one thing I want to touch on to let everybody know is, when you're talking about buying a live scan system, I guess a bare bones system, where you're really going to be, printing cards and maybe doing, card printing and maybe a little FBI channeling, you're still looking at about at least probably like 5K. Brandon's going to speak more on this, but you're looking at least 5K for a bare bones system. When you're looking at offering a wide range of commercial services, like what Brandon goes over in our live scan course, and which shows you the different ways that you can make money with a live scan system. When you're talking about offering other things such as Florida background checks, your FDLE, you're talking about offering, other services like that, your system could easily be $7,000, $8,000. You throw in some other accessory things, it's going to be up there. So just know that when you're talking about getting started in the fingerprinting business, especially with a live scan system, you need to either have some money or some credit. You got to have one or the other. So I'm gonna let Brandon talk more about the system, and then I'll close it out where we talk about the credit, because we do have people who will finance you, but we need to talk about credit if you're not using your own cash. Go ahead, Brandon.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Thanks, Nancy. So with the live scan systems, like you said, it's generally custom built to your area and the services that you would like to offer. A bare bones system that's doing card printing, and like you said, and probably ATF services, if you kind of just wanted to start doing that. And that way, you can kind of do, multiple people at times. They have a lot of different cards that need to be done or something like that. Yeah, you're generally looking at about 5,000, maybe a little under, especially if you supplying your own printer and computer, which we recommend. We can do that for you or get you set up to be able to have those things. But essentially that's kind of what you're looking at. And then, as you go into, like say, an FBI channeling, which is kind of a highly recommend to kind of, bring you additional type of customers so that you can, do different customers that may be like nonprofits or expungement lawyers or different things like that. And being able to service those clients for them, in addition to being able to do apostees for those clients that may be doing traveling abroad, was, offer some great upsells for you, and even with the live scan system, you can do EDLs, which we always talk about for immigration purposes, for fingerprinting those people. But essentially, it's a business. And so in business, there are expenses that you have to account for, especially when it comes to starting a business, right? If you already have a business, you already know that stuff. But when you're starting a business, or if you even added a new product line, right, or a new service line to your business, those startup costs are going to be more than just a live scan system, right? Like, even though, okay, we have the live scan system, let's say it's $5,000, you say I have your computer, $300-400, a printer, FBI certified printer, between $300 to $1,500, depending where you're getting it from and the model. And then on top of that, you're going to have to market the business. You have to get out there outside of, creating a Google My Business profile. You got to, create some online digital marketing media as well. You're going to have to attend different networking events. So outside of the financial investment, to be completely honest with you, is going to be more of the uh, commitment of investment, right? Like, so you're gonna have to like that's going to kind of be your money too, right? Like the time invested in getting this off the ground or getting the services out there so that people can know that you are here and that you can provide the services for them. And then the education too that we have with the courses, right? Because you need to know what you're doing um, in order to make the most money from your live scan system. Um, but yeah, it's a lot to it. And then, if you do offer some services that are considered channeling services to the FBI or state direct services, right? Like Florida or Arkansas or California, Nevada, some of those other states, like you're gonna have to have, some additional money on deck because some of them have like Illinois, they have a escrow account, so to speak. So you have to put money into it for ISP to, kind of deduct as you are doing state submissions, right? So you got to have additional money to create that escrow account for them. I want to say it's about $1,400 to $1,500, between 1,000 and 1,500 for sure. That you're gonna have to put in there to do that if you're trying to do state direct, within that particular state. So, like I said, there's always additional fees and things that come up that you're gonna have to account for and make sure you have money on deck for that. Like Auntie said, it's could be your own money or credit. OPM is always the best thing. Auntie always loves that to say that phrase, other people's money. Um, that was something I wish I would have did a little bit earlier in my journey in this business is maybe apply for some additional funding. Pretty much I used to use most of my savings and kind of, got it from the mud that way. But being able to have, some other funding there to kind of float you into um, as you're growing, you have that, and then you still have your money available, just in case something happens. But that's what I'll kind of leave it at that without rambling on. I'll kick it back to Auntie, and then I'll
Yes.
let her finish talking about credit and knowing your credit score and those different things like of that nature.
Yes, thank you, Brandon. Most definitely. One thing that Brandon touched on was this is a business. We did a video. This is not a side hustle. This is not like you're gonna have to invest time, money, sweat, blood, money. Can I say money again? You're gonna have to invest into yourself. We do have lenders who will that you can get financing from, and normally I think the lowest one is what, like a 600, 630,
630, I think 630 and 640
yeah,
is the least they'll take. Yeah.
630, 640 credit score. You need to know what your credit score is before you start this. You know, in my in on my real estate channel, I talk about how you just can't wake up today and say you're gonna buy a house. There's a process. It's the same thing with in the fingerprinting business. It's a process. You can't say I'm just gonna start this business today. You don't have no equipment, you don't know what your credit score is, you don't have no money, or you don't know where you can lay your hands on some money, different things that you setting yourself up for a lot of disappointment, in my opinion, because I always say fingerprinting is a very simple business. It's very straightforward, but sometimes it's not easy. It's not easy. And and not only do you have to make sure that you got either the money and or the credit up front, mainly you definitely need to have the credit, because once you start expanding, me and Brandon own multiple live scan systems, multiple. It gets a little bit better the second, the third, the fourth machine, because it's not as expensive, or you've learned some different things that you may want on one system, then you may not need it on all the other systems and everything. But still, it takes money. Everybody wants to get to that 10K a month. Oh, we put out way more than 10K to get started, you know, and you can make your money back. You can make your money back. If you run the business correctly, you can make that money back. But just know you're going to put the money out up front. You're going to have to put the money or the credit some type of way. You got to have some skin in the game. It's just not It's not get your notary and you get and spend $100, get your bond and your insurance, and you off to the races, and you finna make all this money. It's not like that. It's not like that. So we just wanted to go over that with you. We will be having some more videos coming out in the coming days, and also stay tuned. We will be releasing the dates and the locations for the Secure Biometrics meetup. Deuce, our second annual, we will be releasing those dates and places here soon. Again, thank you as always for tuning into our videos. If you haven't, please like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next video. Thank you.